Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms, and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as the links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen, folks, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, call in. We'll be doing a live radio show. We'll be talking about the Jets. We'll be talking about the roster. We'll be talking about the upcoming game. We'll be talking about it all. Call in. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. So with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets' upcoming game against the Buffalo Bills. This is my game preview, man. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you something. This Bills team is serious business. You know, McDermott, all those guys up there in Buffalo, they've really, that front office, they put together a solid team. This is a team that's really ascended within our division. We were all worried about the Patriots for years, and then the Bills just kept building, kept stacking up, and now, you know, they're one of the teams that we're looking at that could be, you know, competing in the division for years to come. So I want to start with the offensive side of the football for the New York Jets first, okay? Now, we were all wondering going into this game what was going to happen. It's recently, been said by Sulla that they're going to go with Mike White into this football game. So he come out, he said that they're going to continue to allow Zach Wilson to heal up from that PCL injury, and I think that it was an amazing call. That's a good call. Do not put that kid out there before he is 100% ready. Now, they're hoping to get Zach Wilson out there at practice soon, so we'll see what happens with that going forward. But I do not want to see Zach Wilson on that field until his body is fully healed and ready to go. We've seen in the past where the Jets have rushed players back out onto the field before they were fully healed or fully ready. We saw it with C.J. Mosley last season, or 2 seasons ago, we saw that where he had an injury and we forced him out there before he was ready, and it made it a lot worse, and we ended up missing, him missing a lot of time, playing for us. So I'm ready to move forward from that. Mike White's the guy, going forward, at least for this Bills game, and I'm giving that a thumbs up for the organization. Smart move, great stuff. Now, Joe Flacco will be active in this game, and he will be our quarterback number 2. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. We made the trade for him. It's good to finally see him be active and ready to go. So in case anything happens, he's going to be the guy that's going to step in. Now, listen, we're going against a Bills defense that is ferocious, okay? Completely ferocious. I mean, they get after it. And the first thing I start to think with Mike White playing, this is a guy that, works within that pocket. This offensive line has got to protect him properly, okay? Greg Van Roten and Connor McGovern have been very up and down this year. Very up and down. And if you don't think the Bills have watched the film and been like, oh, those two guys, garbage. If you don't think that they've seen that and been like, oh, those two guys are garbage, we're definitely going to find a way to put them in situations where we bring pressure towards their way, you're wrong. That's exactly what they're going to do. And this Bills front, this whole defensive front for them is nothing but pressure. You got Rousseau, who's a solid, pass rusher from the outside. Hughes, who's a very good defensive lineman. Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver has been giving us trouble ever since they drafted him. So this guy he's unbelievably strong. He blows up the run game. He throws people around. It's insane. They also have star Lotulelei as well, who's a great defensive lineman. We have to make sure that we protect up front. We have to make sure that this offensive line stands stout. And I think a big part of that, too, is scheme. Okay, schematically, there's some things you can do to kind of negate some of the pressure that you'll see from the Bills front, especially if they get over-aggressive. That leads to Mike LaFleur being a solid play caller in this game. Now, LaFleur has stepped up more recently. He really has, especially when they moved him to that booth. Booth LaFleur is something else, okay? He's got to continue that role. He's got to, throw some things in there to keep things unpredictable, to keep this Bills defense, off balance. He's got to keep them off balance, whether it be screens, whether it be flea flickers, something. He's got to make sure that he keeps them off balance so they're not able to just pin their ears back and go at, our quarterback. We've got to stay out of these 3rd and longs as well, because that's definitely a down where they'll just go, oh, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, we're just going to pin our ears back and go at you. We've got to stay out of those situations. The play calling must be solid. The running game, I'd like to see that be effective in this football game as well. Ty Johnson, Michael Carter, get those guys the ball in their hands and try to get them, to loosen some things up against a really tough Bills defense. And Ty Johnson, as much as we like him, he's got to cut down on some of the mistakes that we've been seeing a little bit. We've seen balls come off his hands this year to turn into interceptions. We saw a fumble last game. He's got to kind of clean those things up, and he's got to continue to produce. Now, he's made some great plays as well, but you cannot turn the ball over against this Bills defense, because let me tell you something. They give it to their team, and it'll turn into points. We've seen it all season. Now, you look at our wide receiver core, which is going to be a big part in this game too. Mims, listen to me, okay, because YouTube be tripping. Mims is dealing with the situation of why we're wearing masks, okay? He's dealing with that situation. He's on the list dealing with it. We'll see what happens going forward. I know that he's taken the precautions, the precautions that the NFL was talking about and pushing earlier on in the year. He's taken the precautions. So we'll see, how things are going forward. He's got to deal with a lot of things, as far as, going through the list and going through the situation with the football team of why we wear masks. So we'll see if he's going to be cleared to play, and if he is, that's really going to help us, because Corey Davis, we're still kind of in the fog of whether he's going to be out there. Corey Davis still dealing with that hip injury. So when you look at this Bills secondary, it's filled with a lot of killers, man. Let me tell you. Tre'Davious White, very good corner in this league. Wallace is on the other side. You got Micah Hyde back there at safety too. This secondary is stingy, man. It's really stingy. So not having Corey Davis out there, and then if you're missing Mims as well, again, we'll see his status. You got Elijah Moore, you got Crowder, you got Keelan Cole. We'll see what happens. Moore is a guy that we are seeing a lot of great things from. And if he's going to be where we hope him to be in the future, right, if he's going to ascend in this league, he's going to have to beat these guys, these really good corners like Tre'Davious White and these guys that we got, coming around the bend for us. So we're going to see what he does. He played very good against Indy, but we're going to see, a lot of things from him going forward. So again, we're going to be tested there as well. And I think that, again, Mike White getting the ball out of his hands quickly is going to be huge for us. And he's been doing that consistently this year. Quick, smart, concise. That's the kind of play calling we need drawn up as well. Make sure you're getting the ball out of this guy's hands quickly to the floor and letting those guys go on and do their thing. Now, defensively, Sulla's got to make sure that this defense plays better than it did in Indy, and his staff has got to be able to make adjustments. The defensive game plan against Indy was atrocious, and not making sure that you could adjust to some of the things that Indy was doing was atrocious as well. They got to clean that up. The Bills' running game, if you thought Indy's running game was serious, the Bills' running game is serious too. Singletary is a guy that they give the ball to early and often, and if you're not able to wrap up and tackle on him, if you're out of your positions and all that stuff, he'll blow you up the exact same way. We'll give up tons of yards. You've got to make sure that we focus on solving the running game up front, okay? Quinnen Williams, Fadu Kasi, all those guys, Sheldon Rankins. Dude, you guys got to hold your squares, man. You got to hold your squares up front. Like, you can't get manhandled and pushed around. Come on, guys. Let's step it up. You know what I'm saying? So we got to watch that. Also, Singletary is a guy that can come out the backfield, too, and take care of business, too, catching the football out the backfield. We struggle with that as well this year defensively, too, dealing with backs and screens. So we got to clean that stuff up. We have to get a pass rush on Josh Allen as well. John Franklin Myers, we paid you. Come on, man. Let's get it going. All these other guys we got as well. Lawson, all these guys, you guys got to step up. We have to get after Josh Allen. Now, keep in mind, okay, don't lose sight that this guy is not only a guy that, he can work from the pocket. Can he run and take off? Yes, but he likes to extend plays and keep his eyes down the field, because he will throw the ball, drifting to his right and throw it to his left. He's got an arm like that. He's got a cannon. So if you're going to go after the guy, don't over pursue, because he'll burn you for that. But if you get a chance to hit him and wrap up. No more of these weird shoulder tackles like Ashton Davis be doing, trying to knock this guy away, because that's not going to work with Josh Allen. He's a big guy, and he's just a big mass, and we've seen him walk through people's tackles like it's nothing, especially if you don't wrap. He'll walk right through it. He'll be unaffected. We've seen him get hit by safeties, corners, linebackers, all, and he just keeps running because he's so big and he's so physical. If you get a chance to line up Josh Allen, you drill him, but you wrap up, okay? Because if you don't, he'll walk right through that like it's nothing. Our young cornerbacks are going to be tested in this game as well. Bryce Hall, Michael Carter II, Eccles. You're going up against a solid wide receiving core with the Bills. Diggs, Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders. you got to make sure, you know what I'm saying, you can hold your own out there. Again, I thought we played extremely well against the Bengals, you know, wide receiver core. Let's see if we can get that going, you know, keep that same energy against this Bills wide receiver core, because these are guys that can move around and especially make plays. And again, with Josh Allen running around and extending plays, you might have to cover a Diggs or a Beasley or, you know, an Emmanuel Sanders longer than you would normally. So we got to watch it. And again, Ashton Davis, Marcus Maye's done for the season. I need to see you step up, my friend. These bad angles that you're taking, you got to cut that stuff down. That nonsense has got to go, all right? Make sure that you're with where you need to be within coverage and don't get lost. We've seen that issues with him. Again, with Marcus Maye gone and his future with the New York Jets being kind of uncertain right now, contract-wise and all that stuff, if Ashton Davis does not pan, we're going to be in a lot of trouble back there at the safety position. We are, because you're not going to have any kind of real answer for the future. So I want to see Ashton Davis step up and play better than he has so far. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. What are your thoughts about this Jets upcoming matchup against the Bills? How are you guys feeling about the game? What are your thoughts about Mike White starting? What are your thoughts about this Jets defense? Do you think they'll be able to get a pass rush on Josh Allen? I want to hear from you folks, all right? So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. Let's go back and forth. You folks have a good one. Peace.